Hello my friends, Paul here in the RoJoBe Music Workshop, and welcome to part 2 of the cheapy ukulele revival. Soprano ukulele. So I've now got all the strings on and I've cut the ends off so they're not in my way. I've got the nut glued on, and it is perhaps just a fraction high at the first fret, just a fraction. But you know, this is for a couple of kids. That's absolutely fine. It's definitely well within spec. If it was for me or for a customer, you know, an adult customer, I would take that down a tiny bit. But having said that, this ukulele only has 12 frets, so that the last fret is the 12th fret, and the action there is really pretty low. That's as low as you'd ever need it on a ukulele. So, you know, if I did take the nut down a bit, that might actually bring the action too low. We might get buzzing on many of the frets on most of the strings. So it's definitely within spec. That is fine as it is, absolutely fine. So what I've got to do now is tune it up. And then I will check the intonation, although I'm not expecting much from the intonation. I mean, it's a very, very cheap ukulele. Probably the equivalent of like $25, 20 quid, something like that, new. You know, it's a cheapie. There's no guarantee that the bridge is in the right place. That's quite often the case with these cheap instruments, that they're just, you know, they're just done to a, you know, sort of generic template and they're all put in the same place. But every instrument is different. And quite often the bridge placement on these cheap instruments is not correct, which means your intonation is out. So yeah, it's a cheap uke. No guarantee that the bridge is in the right place. It's a tiny bit high at the first fret, but that would not normally be a problem if the bridge is placed correctly. But so I'm not expecting a lot from the intonation, so long as it's close enough. You know, it's for a couple of kids, so it doesn't need to be perfect. Okay, so let me just bring the camera around and I'll start to tune it up. How are we looking there? Okay. Oops. Right, so I'll just get my tuning app ready. Hold on. Let's get that out of the way. Right. Let me prop that up a bit. Hopefully you can see that. I think so. Right, okay, so we want G, C, E, A. G flat. Okay. This is always the problem with ukuleles or any instrument that uses nylon strings. They take absolutely ages to settle and stay in tune. Just take way too long. Alright, let's check that again. See, it's already gone way flat. Okay, right, so let's check the intonation. Like I said, I'm not expecting much, but we'll see. Come on, up you come. It's actually flat, that one. Or is it? Huh? I can't be. You can't be that. No, that's not right. Yeah, I think it's a little flat, which is surprising. I would expect them to be sharp, but that's fine. That's pretty good, actually. Just won't stay in tune, that's the problem. These nylon strings. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, see, that's sharp. A bit sharp. That's not bad. That's good. Yeah, that's pretty close. Yeah. Actually, that's settled now. Dang. That's showing flat again. Oh, there we go. Okay, well, it's like I said, and like I expected, it's not perfect, but it's not bad actually. It's pretty close. I mean, yeah, it sort of seems to fluctuate a bit, and that's because of these nylon strings. Once that settles, I mean, I'm gonna, the owner, customer, student, whatever you like, is going to be picking it up on Sunday, and today is Thursday, so you know, I'm going to sort of play around with it, keep playing it to try and get these strings settled down a bit, and I'm sure with that the intonation will settle a little bit too. But I've got to say, it's definitely close enough for, you know, for a couple of kids to use. It's better than I was expecting, got to be honest. Not too bad at all. So let me just check the tuning again. Yeah, they've already gone flat. Not bad. Yeah, so I'm going to play it, keep playing it and playing with it to try and get those strings to settle down before the customer picks it up, and hopefully it'll be good. So let's have a little play with it, shall we? See how it sounds. Okay. Yes, I am playing it upside down. Okay. Oh, is that a tune? Oh my god. Dang, that's already well out of tune. How are we doing for time? Okay. Okay, so there it is, finished. And yeah, it's, you know, it's going to keep going out of tune. I have to keep tuning it, playing it, tuning it, playing it. I want it to get settled before the customer picks it up. Although I'm pretty sure neither of those kids can actually play ukulele, so they're not going to know the difference. But you know, I always like instruments to be right before the customer picks it up, even if it is a 6-year-old kid and a 4-year-old kid. That's irrelevant to me. I make sure that when I do any of these jobs, even a quick and dirty revival of a $10 ukulele, I want it to be right before it leaves my shop. It's just the way I am. So that's the end of this little mini project, and there it is. Cheap and cheerful and dirty revival of a cheap and cheerful and dirty ukulele. Okay, so hope you enjoyed this little mini project, and I think that the next project I do might well be my bass guitar. Like I said, I ordered some bits and pieces for it. The neck is due to arrive any day now. The wood did arrive, but I ordered 20mm thick wood and they sent 16mm, which I was a bit off about. So I'm having to return that, but I've bought some more. Hopefully that will arrive in the next day or two, and hopefully that will be the right wood. And if everything is right, I've got all the other components I need ready to build my bass guitar. And if that goes well, I mean, you know, when I built the electric guitar, I was pretty happy with the result. The only thing that I would do different the next time is, you know, when the body is all shaped and ready to put together, before painting, gonna, you know, screed it over with filler first. Because the electric guitar, once I got all the paint on it, there were a few pits and gaps and everything everywhere, which, you know, for a customer or for sale would not have been acceptable. For me, absolutely fine. I love it. But you know, when I make the bass guitar, I'm going to do that before I paint it. I'm going to screed the whole thing over with a very thin layer of filler to fill in all the little nooks and crannies and gaps and cracks and everything else. So that's going to be my next project. I'm really looking forward to that. And as I was saying, if it goes well, I'm going to start making another bass and at least one electric guitar, possibly two, for sale. You know, now that I know that I can do them, and better than I was expecting I would, I think I can do them good enough to actually sell. So I'm going to probably make a short scale bass and two guitars, maybe like Strat style or Telly, and maybe something else, something a bit different. I don't know yet. That's for the future. But as I said, my next project is going to be my bass guitar, and it's going to be a full-scale bass guitar. Okay, so that will be coming soon. In the meantime, please look after yourselves, look after each other. We will see you soon. Peace out.